Hey guys, this is Betamax Man here. So we are back working on the Sony SLV R1000, and this particular VHS machine is one of the sought after Super VHS machines, and it's one that everybody loves. I love them. I've never worked on one before. This is the first time working on one of these. First thing we gotta do is get this chassis out so we can replace the blue gear. And yes, I do have a blue gear kicking around, so we are going to install that blue gear and put the chassis back in. We're gonna also fix this piece here. And all this is a tape stabilizer and a erase head. So that's all this is. We have to fix it, right? I mean, we just have to. But I'll fix that. It's just a spring that's come off, and this was what was rattling around inside, because I heard a rattling around inside, and I was kind of thinking, oh man, what have I got myself into, you know? But now the tides have changed, and quickly starting to realize that this is going to be a viable machine to work on. A little bit more involved as far as disassembly goes. I'm used to working on the R5UC, which was the, so what was it, 1990. First thing I gotta do here, we gotta get the front faceplate off. So if we just unclip the little clips here, I think there's probably some screws on the bottom here, maybe. I don't know, let's find out. So I'm gonna get this front faceplate off, and then we'll take the cassette housing out, and then we can get to the screws for the chassis. What I did was just move the front faceplate forward a little bit, just enough to get some clearance. And so we got the cassette housing out. There's actually a couple screws. There's one there, there, and there. And then you unplug the wire here, and the cassette housing would just lift straight out like that. The cool thing about these cassette housings is that the door is actually built onto the cassette housing itself, so therefore you don't have to worry about lifting the door when you're putting the front faceplate back on. So here we go. So we're gonna, obviously I'm gonna, you know, put this back together here, but I just wanted to get enough clearance to get that out. So now we got a screw there, there's one there, and I think the chassis will actually come out. So chassis is out, and so here's the chassis, and we're gonna go ahead and replace that blue gear. So I gotta take the screws off and get the circuit board off so we can get to that blue gear. We'll change it, put the everything back in place, put it all back together, button it up, and then we will be putting it back in. Okay, I got the circuit board off, and now we can just take these washers off, and we'll get the cam gear and lift that up. I almost lost that washer there. And alright, there we go. Take the plate off. You can see our broken blue gear, of course. Where'd the other piece go? Well, that was probably something else that was rattling around inside that machine. I never thought about it, but yeah, that was definitely what was rattling around in there. So you can see the alignment. It's pretty straightforward alignment on there. Oh, it's interesting because looks like somebody might have been into this before, because I'm seeing some black grease, which that black grease is not something that Sony put on there. The green grease is what Sony had on there. So somebody has been into this and has been probably serviced it, but I didn't think anybody had, because the tape, the cloth tape, was still over the wires, which kind of made me think that maybe that nobody had been there. But okay, and then we got to take this one off so that we can change out the blue gear. I'm actually got a I just pulled out the whole arm and gear assembly, but this is actually a brand new gear that I purchased off eBay and put onto that. But it was a regular VHS that this came out of, and so we're gonna change out the whole entire arm, and so we'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna move those, and there we go. Oh wow, it's got an extra, looks like an extra plastic cut washer there. So, and then we're gonna pull so the guide is actually gonna fall out once I remove the cut washer. Yeah, of course the guide fell out, so that's alright. Alright, let's pull this one off. You gotta pull this one up and out, just so you get enough clearance to get this one. Okay. Get that one out. There's the broken one. And let's put the new one in here. So this is how you align it. You can see that the holes are together, so that notch basically follows that hole, and then there is your fully retracted. So let's retract it back. You may have to, that guide is going to be in the way, so when you go to retract, you go to retract it and you can't, right? So if you pull that back, and then you can, oops, let's zoom it back out. So okay, so when you go to retract, you may have to see, it won't go any farther, but if you pull this piece down, and then you can get back into alignment. So check the alignment. Alignment is good, and yeah, I'm just making sure we check stuff, check the guide, make sure that's working good. So now that's aligned. Next thing we gotta do is pull these back. Let's get this back in alignment here. I'll pull that. That's gotta pull up. This has gotta go down like that. We take our cam gear and we'll put that on. Get rid of that piece of hair there. And yeah, there we go. Let's get the cam gear back on. And we'll put that on there. There's a lot of grease and stuff. It's like you set this thing down and it gets pieces of hair on there. So, alright, let's get this cam gear back in place. And don't forget, we gotta put a cut washer back on that blue gear there. So, it's fairly easy to put a blue gear in. It's not hard. It's not very difficult. Like sometimes people think that it is, but it's really not, you know. So, alright, let's see here. There we go. Let's get this back in to alignment there. And there. Yeah, it's not quite aligned, so let's get this back. Pull these back, and there we go. So, okay, just like that. You hear that clicking? How it clicked into place. So that's how you do these, and they're very simple, very easy. Now I've done multiple blue gear replacements, so as you can see why it's easy for me, because I've done it several times. But for somebody that hasn't done it a whole lot, it might be helpful. You know, this video will probably be a little helpful to you. So we're gonna go ahead now and we'll put this plate back on. And well, we gotta put the cut washer back onto the blue gear as well. So we'll just take our cut washers. Sticking to my finger because I have that green grease on it, so they're actually sticking to my finger there. So getting some grease on your finger actually may not be a bad idea, because then you can do this. I usually use like a piece of Scotch tape and stick it to the Scotch tape and then move it where I want it and then press it on. But because my finger has grease and stuff on it, it'll grab the cut washer. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and put the circuit board back in place. And this particular circuit board is completely removable. I think this particular model is a little bit better once you like get it apart and figure out how to, you know, take it apart and stuff. It might be a little bit more simpler than the R5UC, or at least a little easier, because you got whoops, I didn't get into the into the plastic tab there. So we'll get that. There we go. Let's get that underneath the plastic tab here. Let's get this plastic tab on there. This is, you know, I'm gonna have to pull back on that, or get this. I gotta have two hands so I can get the circuit board underneath the tab. There we go, like that. Make sure all the connectors are in place and everything is snap back in. And we can start putting our screws back on, and we'll get this thing put back into the machine. And very important, don't forget to plug the video head back in, because if you forget to do that, then it will not complete the loading cycle. So if the head drum does not turn when you press power, then it will not complete the loading cycle. So just so you know that. There we go. Got it in there. So I've got to fix the that piece I was showing you that was broken, and it actually cracked, and when I was taking this chassis out, that part actually failed completely. It cracked. So I'll do a video and I'll show you what happened to that part that we were talking about that we have to fix. So alright, here we go. So now I can take my screws and start putting them back in, and there's, you know, a screw there, there. There's like 5 screws total. So we'll put we'll start putting them in. Getting them put in. So I'll start with the middle one first. And all you want to do is just so that they're tight, but not too tight. So just so that they're snug. I would say when it starts to feel, when you're starting to get a lot of resistance, stop. You know, just so that when you're starting to get a lot of resistance, then you want to stop. But there we go, there's that one. And then one down here. So I'm just gonna get these back in, and then we'll start working on the top side of things, and get that one broken piece, that one broken part replaced. And I'll show you where it broke. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get that going. Yeah, and I know you guys probably don't care about me showing you putting in all the screws, so I'll probably just kind of cut some of that out. I don't know. I might just show you guys the whole thing, because it's good to do that. I mean, you guys need to know how to, you know, it's I like to teach people how to do things. It's, you know, I want you guys to be able to actually buy one of these machines and do what I did and to make it work. But it depends on, you know, what's wrong with it too, because sometimes you could have more problems than just the blue gear. You could have, like what we had, we actually had a timing issue of the pinch roller, and I think somebody tried to take the pinch roller apart, and they tried to probably clean it and re-grease it, and didn't quite know how to do the timing procedure on it, and probably just gave up. I don't know. It's hard to say, you know. So, but I just want to get this going here and get this fixed, because I want to have one of these machines as my like recording deck. So this is going to be my recorder, and the other one, the R5UC, is going to be my playback deck. So if I decide to copy tapes, but this is probably just going to be used for recording, and I'll play back those tapes with the other machine. So the R5UC, we'll use that to play back those tapes. This one will be used for recording. So I get the dog that wants in, so I gotta let that in, her in. There we go, guys. So we pretty much got this all buttoned up, and hey, you know, I'm gonna put this back into the parts deck, and yeah, we'll go from there. Let's fire it up, and please set the clock. Well, we'll do that in a little bit, but let's see if it's going to work now with the blue gear replaced. And I also repaired this. I didn't repair it, I just replaced it. It came out of a unit where the erase head was not the same, so I had to swap out the erase head. You know, I put the erase head that came from this machine onto that new part. So we now have a tape stabilizer and eraser, and it's just fine. So, alright, let's go ahead, and I've got Wine King. Let's go ahead and pop a tape in and see what she does. I don't know why this machine won't play automatically. I would say that's working. Okay, that's a tape dropout you just seen. This tape's been chewed many times. It's been in many machines. It's a test tape, so I've even got it marked. This test tape, this has been chewed. So, yeah, it's a test tape. So now that I know it works, we can, let's go forward search. So forward search with this, you just basically bring this jog dial down, and it allows you to fast forward. So if we'll do the same thing with rewind. And there we go. So she's working now. So now what I think I'll do is go ahead and clean the heads and do some cleaning and whatnot, and get this thing put back together. Now this is not a restoration, this is just a repair. we'll do a restoration on it. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments. Do you want to see restoration? Well, restoration meaning that I clean all the internal components. The circuit boards get cleaned, you know, basically everything inside and out gets cleaned. So I'll do a restoration on this later on. Usually I don't film the restorations. Usually I just I wonder why that door is not coming back down. It could be out of alignment, because that door should be actually down. You should be able to see the door, and it's kind of sticking halfway up. So I think we'll investigate that. So we'll pull the front cover off and I'll see what's going on there. Yeah, I'm not really sure why the why it's not, you know, staying down, because it should be down when there's a tape in there, unless maybe the factory done this to let you know that there's a tape in there. I don't know. It's kind of weird though. I have seen VCRs where the door does stay partially open. I guess it's kind of to let you know that there's a tape in there, because I'm looking at the alignment and everything is fine. There's no it's not off by any of the teeth. Yeah, I cleaned the head very well. No more dust. I cleaned not only the heads, the head drum, the tape path, the whole entire tape path got cleaned. Even the pinch roller, I put rubber renew on the pinch roller, and it is looking so much better. That pinch roller was actually pretty glossy, and I was able to use rubber renew and get that gloss off of that pinch roller. Yeah, this is an awesome machine. So, pinch roller has been used with rubber. I used rubber renew on it, and now that pinch roller is in nice shape. It had a sheen on it, and it doesn't anymore. So, anyway, pretty happy with it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back together. You know, and I will take it apart at some later date and clean the machine inside and out. I actually was watching a video that Spatzbear had done on a TV. He was working on an old vintage TV, and he takes his circuit boards and he puts them in the dishwasher. And I thought, you know what, that's a really great idea. And as long as you dry the circuit board real well after running it through the dishwasher, well, the dishwasher will dry them as well, but you'll have moisture, so you want to leave the circuit boards sit for a couple days out in the open air, so that they'll, you know, dry completely before reassembling them. But yeah, I thought that was a fantastic idea. Oh, look who joined us. These two babies. Hey, girl. So they are going to be going to a new home here within a couple weeks here. So they're about 7 weeks old, I think. So they'll be ready to go to a new home soon, but before that, I will make sure they get plenty of love and affection. Well guys, it is now nighttime, and this will pretty much be the ending of the repair video. We are going to do the demonstration, and I do got a Super VHS tape that I use for testing. This was a recording off of one of my Pioneer laser discs, and this has got hi-fi stereo sound. And we'll go ahead and see and make sure that Super VHS is working. Which it is. So it is working beautifully, and no problems. Nothing wrong with that picture. Nothing at all. So now it's a really neat display of this thing. Let's dim. There we go. You might be able to see it better with it being dim. Brightness goes up. Can't really see it with the camera, so we'll put it on dim. And I checked on the door. Apparently it's supposed to do that. Other people have had this model, and I've looked at their review or demonstration videos, and I've seen the same thing, where their door was halfway opened up when there's a cassette inside. So that's probably done on purpose to let you know if it's got a tape inside. So, but what I think I might want to do is I might do another video, just another short video showing the recording capability. But look at the quality of the image. I mean, it's almost as good as Laserdisc. Not quite, but it's close. It's very close. So I think I could say that this is definitely a success. And apparently the counter doesn't come on when the tape is ejected. So we now have a fully working SLV R1000 Sony Super VHS video cassette recorder. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hey, if you want to give me a thumbs up, hey, that would be greatly appreciated. So hey, thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching the videos. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to just combine the diagnostic video with the repair video, or if I'm just going to do two separate parts. I'll probably do two separate parts. Anyway, but yeah, so there she is in her glory. She is working like a champ. She's beautiful. She's dead sexy, and man, she needs to be put up into my video rack. So, there we go, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.